What is happening, YouTube? How y'all doing today? It is Wednesday. Just hanging out with your average Joe. We're getting ready to go over some sales. Y'all know the routine. We got a bunch of comments to go over. We're actually getting really close to 500 subscribers too, which is awesome. So thank y'all for your support. If you haven't been here before, my name is Joe. I've been reselling full time on eBay for about 8-9 years, but I've been buying and selling on eBay since 2000. So a long time, been around a while. But we're here to share some sales because we don't have a ton of sales, but we did meet goal, which is great. But we got 6 sales to go over, and we got like 13 comments or something like that to cover. So this might be a little bit longer video. I'll try to keep it under 40 minutes. But anyways, we have quite a few comments to touch on. So hopefully I don't get to rambling too much. I'll try to keep it short, sweet, and to the point. But again, appreciate you guys hanging out with me, and again, appreciate everybody's support. Like I said, we're getting pretty close to 500 subscribers, which is amazing. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started for the day. I'm starting super late today, so the stuff that I'm going to pack and ship is actually not going to go out today. As y'all know, if you have next day shipping for all your items, which I do, I know a lot of folks don't like doing that because it's a lot of pressure. However, that's what I do. I got my stuff set up for next day shipping because I'm pretty much doing this every day anyways. Now, there are times like today where I had 2 repairmen come through. One was fixing my dryer. One was fixing my doing some maintenance and stuff on my camper. So I just got put way behind. And then I did lunch. I did some grocery shopping, and then here we are. So mail lady already came and went. I wasn't going to ask her to come back later because I actually didn't even get a chance to catch her today. But if you know, I know some people have said it doesn't work, but I know for a fact it does work. If you have next day shipping set up, as long as those labels are done that next day, if they don't actually ship out to the following day, you're good. Now, if you wait any longer than that, then you're probably running the risk of it dinging your account. But as long as they actually ship the next day, so in my case, stuff that was purchased yesterday, label today, should have shipped out today. Unfortunately, it won't, but I will get a label on them all today packed, and they'll actually ship out tomorrow. And again, it will not ding your account. At least I have not had any dings on my account. And we actually tested it, like 2-3 months ago. If you guys have been following with me, some of you know already, we tested that theory, or that whether it did or didn't, and it did not. And in fact, I think we did it on a few different items, and it did not ding my account. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get to comments. We'll go ahead and start with comments. Shoo B, get out of here. Again, we got a lot of comments. I'm going to try to keep it a little short and sweet to the point. I'm going to try not to ramble a whole lot. But let's go ahead and get started. First one up. Inland man, I'm having a hard time struggling. Inland Imperial Flips. I think that's how you say it. Hey Joe, I'm curious. Well, first of all, thank you for Inland. We'll just call you that, Inland. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for hanging out. I'm not sure if you've subscribed, but make sure you do that if you haven't. If you enjoy the content. He says, "Hi Joe, I'm curious if your FedEx location accepted your Frankenstein box." Frankenstein box, love it. I did that once, but my FedEx didn't accept the package. My FedEx has no problem accepting the package. I'm not sure why yours had a problem. Yeah, I'm not sure, but yes, to answer your question. Let's see, replied on newest video. All right, so I'm putting that as well. Replied on newest video on everybody's comment. Yes, they do. I have had no problem with FedEx. I mean, I don't do it regularly, but when I can't get a box, I make a box, and I've never had a problem with the post office, FedEx, UPS taking any of my Frankenstein boxes. so no, I'm not sure why yours was having trouble, but I don't know. I mean, some people just, I don't know, can't answer why they didn't. But from my seat, I've never had a problem. So. Anyway, next one, War Pig says, War Pig, welcome back. Thank you for commenting. My lighting I see it's going in and out a little bit. I'm not quite sure why. Maybe if I bring you guys a little closer, maybe drown out that back. I don't know. We'll see. If I stop moving so much, I know that backlight, that sun back there is killing it some. But anyway, he says, I apologize if most of what I said was mentioned in your video. I try to do other things while listening. You're good, man. All good. Trust me. It's no problem whatsoever. I enjoy the comments. I enjoy, even if you said the same things I said, that's no problem. I appreciate you watching. I'll say that. When doing that, I catch snippets of what's being said. Great to hear sales working great for you. A couple videos back, I mentioned I don't use promoted listings, and you mentioned I should try. I agree. I'm an advocate for it. I have tried them when I started my new store back in 2020. It certainly helps, but this store currently is nearly 4,000 items. That's a lot of items. I got like 600, I stay around 650 typically. I've gotten as high as like 9 something at one point last year, but it was a heavy video games at that point, as far as like just onesie, like, and I was putting all sorts of it. It didn't matter what the price was on the video games. That's why I finally put a threshold of $9.99 free ship or better on games, because it just got too much. But anyway, I list every day 30 items, and I sell 20 to 30 items a day as it is. That's very good. So you're pretty much on that 1% a day. 1% of what you have up is selling daily, which is a great place to be. More sales is great, but any more, and I'd lose more time shipping and having to source and list more and keep up with that rate. I agree. I get it. So you're kind of steady. I get where you're coming from. Maybe someday I'll get an employee or a helper. That's probably the next step to ramp up if you're wanting to take it to the next level. But it's also good to kind of work within yourself and your means and what you can do too. So it's all in what you want, really. Also, I work on a bit smaller margins, but something I'm okay with if it means I'll never have to go to a single garage sale or thrift store again and buy from those that do like that hunt. I understand where you're coming from. That's awesome that your sell through rate is so good, man. So keep it up, War Pig. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate the insight. Appreciate you hanging out, man. Appreciate you, man. All right. Next one up, Fart Sack Jack. That's one you can't never forget that one. Fart Sack Jack. How you doing again? You've commented before. Thank you, sir, for hanging out. Fart Sack Jack says, I'm not even going to add pics to the measurements. I'm just going to add them wrote down on the second picture. Okay. I mean, there, I would just use my tape measure on the second picture and third picture and do like pit to pit, boom, snapshot, and then was it shoulder to bottom, boom, snapshot, and then done. And it would show on the measuring whatever this thing. Why can't I think of what it's called right now? But this thing, why can't I think what that thing's called at the moment? Anyway, we'll keep it moving. Brain fart there. 5 picks total, unless issues or something special. Yeah. I will say I've always heard this, just a caveat to your message. I've always have heard, and I don't know how true it is because I'm not that analytical guy that goes digging and all that kind of stuff. I've heard it before. I've heard it several times. 6 pictures should be your minimum. So I would at least say five total, unless I would go 6. Take 1 extra picture, 6 pictures. I've always heard 6 pictures or better is a good place for eBay items. The more the better, but minimum of 6. So it's kind of like I've always heard that free shipping versus calculated shipping is better. But again, I don't go back. I don't go looking at trying to go find numbers on all that stuff. It's all just based on what I've done in my experience and for my seat. So anyway, but yes, I understand where you're coming from there. Fart Sack Jack. Next one, King Rod. I think this is the first time you've commented. King Rod, thank you for hanging out. By the way, did I mention it's already after? I did, didn't I? It's afternoon already, so it's late start to the day. It's already 3:30 today, so luckily it's not crazy hot in here though. But King Rod says, "Hey Joe, can we all come over and hang out in your garage?" Well, I don't have a ton of room, but if you want to come crack a beer and hang out, man, I mean, why not? Next one. Appreciate you hanging out, by the way. Hopefully you subscribed as well. Justin says, thanks for sharing. Justin, thank you for hanging. Thank you for watching. And thank you for your continued support, my man. Thank you, sir. Let me reply to that one. Next one up, Kurt Basin. Kurt. Again, Kurt, appreciate your support as well and hanging out and commenting. Yo, Average Joe. Love the Detroit shirt. Another good sales day. You have been killing it. things have been steady now since I've started the promotion and sales discount. You know, it goes to your point. I'm more competitive with pricing, which means things are going to move better. But I you know, usually I start high. That's just how I do. So I sometimes them sales get slow, and I have to remind myself that Joe, you started high. Like for example, today I got in a bundle today, or not yet today, but in all that pile over there that I still haven't gotten through. I started going through it, but I came across I didn't realize this, but if you've ever had a PlayStation 3 that's got the charging dock, but it also has the clips that go on top of the controllers, so that way it can clip onto the charging dock. It's an actual Sony charging dock station for PS3 controllers. I I've seen it. I've come across them before. I actually have one in my collection as well, but I never looked it up because I just kept it. The one I came across last summer, but this one came on another PS3 that I picked up last week, and so I was like, let me look up just this by itself real quick because I was going to bundle everything together. And I was like, let me look this thing up just to make sure it's nothing crazy. Well, lo and behold, it's something crazy. It's like $80 just for the two clips and the docking station. Um, so where am I going with all this? I don't even know where I'm going with all this. So the high comps on it are like $80, and so I started $80. They're selling anywhere between like 60 and 80. You know, obviously, if I wanted to sell fast, I'd put it for 60 or 70, 65 maybe. I'm starting it at 80. Well, actually, I did $74.99 plus $5 shipping. So it'll sit for a while. I know that, but you know, eventually somebody might pop and grab it for that high comp, for that high dollar, and that's how I start and how I operate. And then if it sits for a while, it'll get gobbled up in a 15% discount, which means it'll come down to like I don't know, 70ish, 65ish dollars, whatever. 15 or 10%, 10 to 15%, depending what I do. But then it'll come down to like that 65-ish range. And then I'm sure at that point somebody will pick it up. And so again, it's because a lot of things do go for the higher side of comps, especially if they're in really good condition, clean, all that kind of stuff. So that's just my method to my madness. Why I start at the higher side of everything, and then it can always come down. I can always because you can't go back up typically. You got it. You know, you can come down, but you normally can't go up. So anyway, so that's again just. But yeah, anyway. So he also says I'm lucky. My girlfriend works at UPS part time in the morning. So she gets me a ton of boxes for free, smaller to medium sized boxes from Amazon Returns. I haven't paid for a box since she got the job. Ha! That's awesome. That's a good way to go too, man. That's a nice little perk there. I family and friends, and sometimes I got to buy them, but for the most part, I don't really buy many boxes either because I do the sports memorabilia, as you guys know, and so all these boxes are 14 by 10 by 10. I can always cut those down to make them a little bit smaller for other stuff. And I do that from time to time also. And I have a ton of these because I do the sports memorabilia. So I usually am good with boxes. Normally when I run into a problem, it's when I need a really, 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 really big box. And then that's when I usually just run to the stamps or to the stamps of the pack and ship place by the Jersey Mikes and the FedEx drop off and all that. It's all the same location. And I'll just grab a huge, like when I shipped out the big TVs, the tube TVs, the flat screen gaming TVs that I've sold before. I haven't come across any lately, but when I do, I'm gonna pick them up, and you should too. I mean, I'm not scared of shipping, especially when you can for $5 you can turn it to like 200, 150. That's an easy, and then you just gotta buy a box for like $15, and then pack it. Which in this case, you do need a good amount of packing supplies, but you know I have that too, so I'm not scared of big stuff. A lot of people are. They leave those things behind. I'm not scared. But anyway, I haven't paid for a box since she got the job. That's how you. That's how you Frankenbox. Yes, that's exactly. Yes, exactly. All right. Next comment is um. So G Nestor, I believe G Nestor. I think this is this the first time you've commented? I can't remember. I'm not good at that unless I see your stuff over and over. So I'm bad at remembering who's commented before. But I think this might be your first comment with us. G Nestor says, "Hey Joe, I have a question on your shipping. How do you do how do you do to offer free shipping on some of your items and still have a profit, or how do you do it? Because I offer free shipping, I will be almost on every gain. Hold on. Because if I offer free shipping, I will almost on every gain. I'm not quite sure where okay, I'm trying to follow there. Just curious how other people do it. I've been reselling on eBay for about a year. I don't know all the tricks. Thank you. Enjoy watching your videos. G Nestor, well, first, thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out. Appreciate your comment as well. If I can help, and at any drop comments, I'm happy to dive into anything you're looking to talk about or have questions about. So thank you for hanging out and commenting. I think kind of what you're saying is, and I think Winston Wolf follows up. If Winston Wolf followed up to your comment and said, if you do free shipping, you got to bundle your cost to ship the item into the price of the buyer will pay. Yes. So yes, exactly. So at the end of the day, let's say something is selling for $19.99, give or take. We'll just say $20, right? And that's free shipping or with shipping. Some people will put it as $14.99 with $5 shipping. Some people will just put it up for $19.99 free shipping. So yes, you basically are just incorporating. All you're doing is still taking. So for example, that Sony item I just mentioned before, that Sony docking station, controller docking station, I could have went $79.99 free ship, but I priced it at $74.99 with $5 shipping on it. So either way you slice it, but you either incorporate it and bump up the buy it now price, and just bump it up a little bit to incorporate your shipping cost. So yeah, I think kind of Winston Wolf exactly nailed it on the head. So I see. Thank you. Yes, good deal. So let's comment there and there. Reply. I think I already posted that. Replied on newest video. I think I did. Yep. So let's cancel that. All right. So next comment up is Marty Echo. Marty Echo. Marty, I think this is the first time you've commented as well. Marty, thank you for hanging out. Appreciate you commenting as well. Let me reply to you real quick, and then we'll answer or dive into your question or your comment. This is the third video, and each one says they have no sales in 4 days. Is this the norm as time this time of year? I've been doing this for 3.5 years, 3.5 years, and only till now I have 3 days of strikeouts. But I really think it's a control issue with eBay. Don't know, but I keep on listing and don't care. Why should I? It's up and down it's ups and downs of business. So I put more hooks in the river, and you will catch more fish unless you're fishing in the toilet. Sorry guys, I had to say that. It was a joke. Oops, my bad. You're good, man. Hey, I like it. I like the jokes, man. I like that, man. Let's keep it coming. I'm a lighthearted, cool dude. I think I like stuff like that. That's good stuff. Have fun. Never give up. Look into the positive and keep going. Exactly. So your positivity comes through there, Marty. You're exactly right. For my seat, and again, this is just me. Some people don't have the same problem. Some people do. Before I put the store on marketing promo and sales discount, which I had one going, but it stagnated. Then they do start to stagnate after a while, so you have to end them and then relaunch them. But my last one was just stagnating out, and my sales were trash. I mean, they were just, I was not hitting goal. And I would say since about January, February of this year, things for me at least have slowed down quite a bit compared to last year. Not a ton, but a little bit. And I haven't looked at my numbers to confirm that. It just feels that way based on my sales. Now, I could go into my analytics and look at last year versus this year, and maybe I'll be like, damn, I'm actually making more. Maybe I'm making just about the same. I don't really know. I don't really dive into analytics too often. I do from time to time, but that one, usually at the end of the year when I'm doing taxes and stuff like that, is usually when I look into that stuff, to be honest with you. So I don't usually look at it through the year much. Here and there, seldom. So I would say overall things have slowed down a little bit. At least it feels that way. But I've had the same. I've had a couple days of strikeouts as well. I mean, it happens, but it's the ebb and flow, like you said. It's ups and downs. It's throwing more hooks out, throwing more bait out, or whatever it is that you said there. Throwing more out there in the river. Unless you're in a toilet, well, if that's the case, then you gotta move, change location. But yeah, no, I would say just keep grinding, man. Stay positive, keep a positive attitude. Try the marketing promos and sales discounts if you haven't, especially, if you haven't had some sales in a while and need some cash flow. If that's something you haven't tried, I would highly recommend trying. I usually do 5% on marketing promo, and I usually do about 10-ish% on my items. Typically, my new items I don't touch on the discounts. My items that have been up maybe 30-ish days to 60 days, I'll get to those and maybe do 5 to 10% on those. And then on my older items, I'll go a little bit more aggressive. Anything older than like 60-ish days, I may go even more aggressive, like 15-ish%, maybe even up to 20%. It just kind of depends how I'm feeling whenever I set the promo. But and sometimes I just, like the last promotion or discount that I set up, I just did 15% across the board for all of it, except for my new items. So, I don't have a rhyme or reason. I just kind of, those are kind of the around the numbers that I play around with. There's enough margins and everything, so it's still, you're still making money, you're still in the green, it's still flowing. So again, I'm not sure if you try that, but I would definitely give that a shot too, especially if your sales have been slow, because that does tend to help. That's why I've had a bump this past like week or so. It's because I've done those things. I'm starting to feel it starting to stagnate again. Like between yesterday and today, we had 6 sales, but all day today, I really haven't had much. But it's ups and downs all the time. That's 100%. Marty also says, or when it comes to free shipping, nope. One works for free. No one works for free. Okay, so ask the UPS and FedEx and USPS guy if they are working for free. Heck no. Why? And heck no way. And the buyer should know this. Thanks, Jeff Bezos. Look, 90% of my stuff, unless it's a video game, 99% of my items have shipping attached to them. If it's a video game, then that's when I dabble with the free shipping, but outside of like the video games, I typically, everything else in my store is shipping is added on, and that's just how I've always done it. So, and it's all relative. Like, it's still in the same range of what somebody's going to charge for that same item, free shipping. So like on my last example, $20 free shipping is the same as $14.99 plus $5 shipping. It's the same price. It's just, if that's about where it's selling at, then you can do it either way. Per eBay, and a lot of customers are like, I want free shipping. So I understand that part of it. I just have never done it that way, and I've been successful doing this for a long time, and that's just how I do it. But video games is the only space I would say that I pretty much, you'll see me talk about free shipping, is the video games. Outside of that, pretty much everything else has free shipping. Sometimes large bulky items, I'll include the shipping in it, but of course it's the same concept there. If it's $350 plus 50 shipping, because it's selling for $400, I do $350 and or I just do $400 free shipping instead of doing $350 plus 50 shipping. It's all relative, but to the buyer, it's a psychological thing. Ooh, free shipping. So I understand why people are advocates of free shipping, and I understand why the numbers say that free shipping is the way to go. So when you do that, again, just incorporate it in your price. Again, there's not a right or wrong. It's your preference on how you want to do it. If I had shit sales all the time, then I probably would consider just doing free shipping on all my stuff and just tweaking the prices, and incorporating the price in the shipping, or the shipping in the price, and then having free shipping on everything. I'm sure I'd see a good amount of sales then too, because it's a psychological thing on the other end for the customer. It's got free shipping. I'm going to take that one because I don't want to pay shipping. It's just a mental thing for customers. Well, it's fine. Again, that's just not how I operate, and it's to each his own. All right. Next one is Pluis. Pluis says, just curious, what are some of the other jobs you have had before selling on eBay? So out of college, So in college, I haven't had many. I had a long career at AT&T. So in college, I was an RA, resident advisor. I also worked at a burger joint early in my college days. I also worked at a car wash early in my college days. Then after college, I started working at AT&T in a call center, and I worked there for right around 11 years. Almost, was it 10? Yeah, just about almost 11 years I worked there. And then after AT&T, so that was customer service, tech support, billing, manager. It was, I held so many roles in my 11 years there. Training, methods and procedures. I did stuff with them. I did a whole bunch of stuff in my career there. So I learned a lot there. I super am an advocate of working for AT&T. They have great benefits. You get great incentives like direct. Well, I'm not sure if they still do direct TV, because I heard that's might not be part. But when I was there, we had DirecTV, your cell phone bill. If they still do DirecTV, it was $10 for DirecTV service. Your cell phone bill was half off. You get a lot of perks on the phones. Healthcare benefits were amazing. Let me make sure my mic's on. Okay, healthcare benefits were amazing for a family. Pay was pretty darn good too. So anyway, I was a big advocate for AT&T, but you got to work for internal AT&T. There's a lot of external AT&Ts that are contractors. They're not really AT&T. They're just a contractor for AT&T. Anyways, and then from there, long story short, my father-in-law, I was always selling and doing some things on eBay. I was always, selling stuff of my own on eBay. I wasn't really like full time, obviously at that point, but I went full time. Me and my father-in-law got into business together, and he's been doing eBay full time since he had a trucking accident years ago, like early 2000s kind of thing. He's been doing eBay pretty much full time, and he's a hunter. He doesn't sell very well. And he's not my father-in-law anymore. They divorced, anyway, that's a long story, but he's not my father-in-law anymore. But, at the time he was very good at buying. He was the hunter. He loved going out hunting for stuff, and he had a really good eye for older stuff. And he's an older gentleman, and he had a really good eye for stuff. I had a pretty good eye for the newer stuff, and I was good at selling. And good at eBay and selling and getting stuff up and hustling and stuff like that. So it came together, and then we ended up, doing really well. And then we're doing storage units. We started kind of bumping up our how we were getting inventory. Storage units became the next thing. And then we decided to open up a thrift store because we were just overloaded with stuff. And we were like, okay, we got eBay cranking out a good number every month. It'll support us and a store. So let's open up a store, and then we can make that extra cash through the store, pay the bills for the store, and have all that extra, and then have foot traffic and brick and mortar and people, social media, and get people in. And so that worked really well for a couple of years, and then we had a bit of a fallout, and I bought him out, and I started my other business, which is sports memorabilia, and did that as well. Actually, we did that right before we that kind of was the reason we broke up. That's another whole story. But and then I bought him out, grew my sports memorabilia business. COVID hit, and it blew up, and it's slowed way down since then. But I still operate, and we still do that at night on Facebook Live. In fact, last night we did 3 football helmets. We hit some pretty good stuff. Jason Kelsey on a Eagles helmet, and I forget what the other 2 are. But anyways, and then I just ramped this up because my sports memorabilia business slowed down quite a bit after COVID. I decided to pick up my reselling and get into this even heavier. So I would say probably, I don't know, 2001 into 2002 is when we started seeing some slowdown on that side of the house, on that side of the business. So then I started ramping this up more. And, but I've been doing this, like I said, since about 2016, 17 so what is that, 8ish years, give or take? So 16ish, 17, somewhere in there. But anyway, so there's kind of like a quick background of I haven't had a ton of jobs in the past, but AT&T certainly helped me become and see things, and had a lot of great leaders that I worked for, and a lot of great people that I worked for that just really helped me understand how to be a professional, how to take care of people, how to sell, how to hustle. And just I've always been a performer. Even before AT&T, I was always, I played ball and baseball. I played sports growing up and stuff, so I've always been competitive, been a performer, and always wanted to be great at what I do. I always wanted to be number one. And so you can't all be number one, but there's like a lot of people at AT&T used to say, there's plenty of room at the top. And so you know what I mean? You ain't got to be the top dog, but you can certainly, there's plenty of room on that hill. So, just work your way up that hill and just work and hustle. So anyway, that's maybe more than we wanted to get into and talk about, but there's my quick, off the top of my head, without really thinking much of it, the quick synopsis of my kind of sort of work history. I have a friend who used to buy and sell on Kijiji and made decent money. Never heard of that one. Always a beautiful video. Cheers, buddy. Thank you, sir. Please, appreciate you. Thank you for your continued support as well. Let me drop you a comment there. Hopefully I didn't get too deep there. And if y'all have any follow-up questions about anything of in that story, drop a comment and I'll be glad to touch on it. Michael Joseph says, I live in Clayton. Yeah, I frequent Jordan Lake. Well, Michael Joseph, Jordan Lake is my absolute favorite. Borderline, I almost want to have my ashes sprinkled in Jordan Lake because I've been going there since I was a kid. Lots of memories as a kid there. Have taken my family and my wife there now, and it's become a family, a tradition basically. Every year we go. We went from tent camping together as a family to now RV camping there, or camper camping as a family, and have had lots of friends, lots of good experiences, lots of great memories there. So it's just one of those places that we've found our little piece of heaven almost. There's a couple sites that go down to their own private beach. In fact, there's a lot of sites on Jordan that have their own beaches, but this one specifically is probably one of the very best ones on Jordan. It's on Crosswinds campsite, and it's across from the swimming area, and it's amazing. And so it's our own private getaway. I've got a boat, a jet ski. We got the camper, and we just go and we chill out. Typically, we go for at least a week, if not 2 weeks at a time. And we usually do 2 or 3 trips in the summer and just enjoy ourselves and get away. Some people like tropical and cruises and Europe and whatever. That's just what we enjoy. I'm a simple guy, and that's just become part of my heart almost, man. Like I love Jordan Lake. So anyway, I'm glad that you're a frequent as well. And I'm not sure if you know where I'm talking about, but yeah, there's that little beach across from the swimming area at Crosswinds. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. Anyway, and it's the part of the Crosswinds is the part of the lake where not as many people are hanging. There's less traffic. The water's calm. It's not, the main part of the lake by Poplar Point is just super choppy a lot of times. Tons of traffic, especially on the weekends. If the storm comes through, the water's it gets crazy sometimes over there on the main part of the lake. But the Crosswinds always is pretty calm. So anyway, and you're by the marina. If you need to fill up, you're right there. Anyway, let's keep rolling because we still have we have a few more comments to go, and we're hitting about 30-ish minutes right now. So all right, next one is Rick Lewis. Rick Lewis, let me reply to you as well. Let's see what Rick Lewis says. Joe, I don't know sign language. Can you put this video up in English, please? I don't know sign language. Joe, I don't know sign language. Can you put this video up in English, please? I am lost. Oh. So you commented on a video. If you look at the video you commented on, I'm like, I was so lost there. Let's start off. Rick Lewis, thank you for hanging out. Thank you for commenting. I was so lost for a second. So those that have been around a while know that I had a video when I first got my mic, and my mic has gone out a couple times, and then there's no sound. Luckily, it's only been one video that's actually been affected or that got posted that I identified that after the fact. So if you look at the video title, it says eBay sales picking up slightly. My sound went out at the 25-minute mark because that's what happened. My sound went out. So I'm just talking with nothing going on. Even if I had subtitles on there, it wouldn't pick up because there was no sound to the video. My mic went out. I didn't charge it that day, apparently. So now every time I get off here, I throw it on the charger ever since that video. So I never have that problem again. So you shouldn't have that problem on any other video. So we'll just say that. That's funny. That's funny you said that. All right. Next one up is Dan 1642. So Dan 1642. Let's just go there. Dan says, "Hey Joe, you didn't mention my comment. Fuck you, Joe. Only joking. Keep up the good work, bro." I didn't see it. I will say I've noticed that that some comments don't, for some reason, don't pop through, or they're further down my list, and so I don't know why I don't see them. But I have identified that on a couple comments that I have missed. So I'm sorry if I missed your comment. I'll try to do a better job. But thank you for hanging out, and thank you for commenting, and hopefully you've subscribed as well. And if I can help in any way, let me know. Rick also says, "Hey, Average Joe, I have your videos going while I listen on." Oh, so this is Rick again. Rick, all right, good day. I appreciate you commenting again, Rick. Let's paste. Let's go to that again. All right, so hey, Average Joe, I have your video going on while I listen on while I'm listing on eBay and day trading stocks. What a day. Well, I appreciate that. I do similar when I'm listing and stuff. I typically have some videos playing in the background and things like that. So I appreciate, and I'm uh what's the right word? I am honored that you're listening and watching my videos while you're day trading and listing your items. That's amazing. I appreciate that. Flattered, really, is another way to put it. I'm flattered. Jesus says, and if I can help at all and you have any other questions, again, if I can dive into anything, guys, more specific, put it out there. I have no problem touching on it and rambling about it to the best of my ability. Based on my experience, is all I can give you is how if I've ever had it, or if I can help you in any way, I'm there. I'm here. Jesus says, average Joe, congratulations, continued success. Cheers, Joe. Thank you, Jesus. We're getting close to 500, man. We're getting close to 500. I appreciate your support as well. You've been around for a while, so thank you, sir. The last comment before we get to sales, I think we might be able to keep this about 45 minutes or so, because we only have 6 sales to cover. So Blaze Oranger says, first of all, Blaze, thank you for commenting. Hopefully you subscribed as well. Blaze says, now the IRS have rights to spy on your bank account, inflows and outflows. Mean they watching you, what you buying or selling. I mean, they can watch. I mean, they can do. I mean, that's fine. I have nothing to hide. I'll just say this: if the IRS is watching you through your bank account, you're probably into doing some shady shit that you shouldn't be doing. Let's just okay. They're not just spying on your average Joe. I'm not making millions around here. You know what I mean? So I don't have millions of dollars flowing through my accounts and where I'm like, ooh, radar. Let's check him out. What's he doing? And also at the end of the day, if you're filing your taxes and you got proof of everything, you got of what your ins and outs are and things like that. I so much track my outs. I don't track really my ins, because my ins are going to be tracked through like your W-2s at the end of the year through all the different platforms. So you get all those on a printout by PayPal and Cash App, and not so much Cash App. Well, actually, you get it through Cash App too. Cash App and Shopify and whatever. I use a bunch of different payment platforms, so I end up getting those reports on every one of them. They get reported to the government, so that's all my taxes at the end of the year. So there should be no red flags. Then obviously from there we start deducting and chipping off, chip away at all the stuff that I had to put out to operate a business. The cool thing is, so let me just, one thing I'll say is this. I mentioned before, I saw a rapper that said, if I make $1 million, I'm looking to spend $990,000 because I only want to be taxed on $10,000, right? So, some people just don't understand that have regular jobs. That doesn't comprehend to them. They're like, what is that? What do you mean? And I used to, I used to try to like explain this to my friends. And this is another way you can look at it. And this is one thing that a guy that's a business owner, I was still working at AT&T at the time, and he was a business owner. He had a hair salon. He did like hair stuff. And then he also worked at AT&T because he was actually trying to get the benefits so he could get medical procedures done. And then once he got those done, he bounced out. So he really just came for the benefits so he could get his thing. Anyway, so I met him one time at coincidentally ran into him at Walmart one time, right? And he's got Madden, and we were talking business and stuff like that, and he was kind of just schooling me a little bit on how things work, and I was blown away. Great conversation, but the one thing I took out of that was he had a cop, and I still remember to this day. I don't remember much of the conversation, but what I do remember is to somewhat to this effect is how he put it. Basically, we're like, look, I own a hair salon. I got Madden in my hand, right? I'm gonna buy Madden under my hair salon, right? And use my hair salon business to purchase this game. And it's a write-off. It's a deduction because the IRS doesn't know whether I'm using this game in my hair salon to play Madden in my hair salon for my customers, or I'm taking it home to play it at home, or both. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, this is if you want to call it a personal purchase for me to go play at home, but then it can also be a business purchase because I can take it to my hair salon and throw it in the game system there and have my customers using it. Now that becomes a business purchase. So there's that gray area there where you can play in that, some things might be outlandish. So you probably don't want to play too far outside of that gray area, but there's that gray area too, where it's like, that makes sense. Like, so all I'm saying is I try to play within the rules the best that I can, but I also, there's that gray area that I play in as well. There may be a time or two where my trailer messed up and it was, you know, it's going to go under my business. Let's say my tires, I need new tires, or I need, my hubs serviced, or I need whatever. Well, I use that predominantly for my business, but there are times I use it for personal because I own it. So but and any repairs or maintenance, it falls under my business as a business expense. Now that's less money that the government can tax me on because that's operating costs and things like that. So again, when you work a regular job, that stuff doesn't totally click. You don't, because you can't do that when you just work a regular job. You can't put your tire purchase under a business expense, because how does that work for when you work for AT&T? How is that a business expense for AT&T if you're working in a call center? You know what I mean? Like, that's a stretch. Maybe you can, I don't know, but from I don't believe that that's a harder. So, but when you own a business, it works a little bit different. It's just, so all I'm going to say is IRS can, I don't want them coming to snoop down, and look at my stuff, just because that's a whole nother headache that you don't want to fuck with and worry about. However, if they do, I've got everything pretty much laid out in line where pretty much most of my stuff I can justify it being business related. Whether it's a business trip or a business cost or an operating cost or something along those lines that is business related. So then it can be put under the business as an expense and stuff like that. So anyway, that's just my little 2 cents. Like I said, I don't want the IRS coming snooping around, because that's just a whole can of worms you don't want to get into, because then it's just a headache. It's just a headache. It's not like I'm scared, but it's just a headache that I like simple. I like easy. Things are easy. If the IRS comes knocking at my door, then it's like, fuck, man, I gotta pull out all these reports, and I gotta show them all this stuff, and I gotta go digging 7 years back on all this paperwork and all these transactions and prove this and prove that and prove the other. I can do it. It's just, man, you're going to spend a week or two, or fuck, I don't know, but it's just not something I want to deal with. But if they do and I get audited, that's just cross that road when we go there, if that ever happens. But I pay my taxes. I'm pretty good about all that stuff. I'm pretty good about tracking everything. I'm pretty good about not being super outlandish with stuff as far as that gray area is concerned. So, yeah, it is what it is. I remember like 4 years ago, I got some new furniture upstairs for our upstairs, a new desk, a new chair, new couch, new coffee table. Upstairs is my business center, basically. My upstairs is all of my business operations happen upstairs. My computer, all that kind of stuff is all upstairs. So that all went under business expenses. You know what I mean? Everything up there is business related. All that space up there is all, whether it's football helmets or processing for eBay, all of it, my computer, all that stuff, my couch, my computer chair, my desk, all that kind of stuff. But it's in my house, it's my stuff, but it got written off because I needed it for business. Right now, it's so, again, is that a gray area? Is that not a gray area? Is that okay? Not okay? I mean, why wouldn't it be okay? I use all that for my business space. That technically is my office up there. So I mean, it's just like if somebody rented an office and bought a whole bunch of new furniture for that office, and it's all office furniture and stuff, and now that's business expenses. It's the same concept. It's the same thing. But you can't do that if you're working at like AT&T and I want to get a whole bunch of new furniture and computer and desk for my upstairs. You can't write any of that off. I mean, I guess you can if you, again, have a business as well on top of working at AT&T, but most people don't. Most people just have a job or they own a business. Some people do both. That's probably a smart way to go, because then you can write off a lot of that stuff and expense it. Anyway, I'm rambling now, obviously. But that's all I got for that. So Blaze Oranger, thank you for that. Hopefully that helps some of you guys understand a little bit. I am not a whiz at any of that, so if anybody wants to chime in and give me your 2 cents on any of that, by all means. I think I'm pretty accurate on most of that, but again, I'm just your average Joe, man. I'm just trying to make it, just hustling, trying to make a dollar. You know what I mean? So support my family and live a decent life, man. That's all we're trying to do around here. So that's all the comments. Let's dive into sales and try to keep this under 50-ish minutes. All right, so our sales, as far as sales are concerned, we had a total of 6 sales between yesterday and today for a total of $297.25. So we still hit the $200 goal. If you've been with me before, $200 is my daily. However, $1,400 for the week. Sometimes you're going to have a $50 day. Sometimes you're going to have a $400 day. As long as that average is $1,400 for the week, I'm a happy camper. So right now, we're kind of on pace pretty much to hit that goal. Hopefully, I don't see a slowdown and it dives off, because right now we're sitting at around $700-ish to deposit, and it's Wednesday. Actually, $600-ish, and it's Wednesday. So we still have the rest of today, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We got 4 more days. So hopefully we can make up another $700-ish to get close or get right at that 1,400. I think we can do it. But let's go ahead and show off what sold, and then I'll let you guys go for the day. Ironically enough, I also have just a caveat to what I just said. I'm just trying to make it. I got 2 type 1 diabetics in my family. My wife is a type 1 diabetic, and my 13-year-old daughter is a type 1 diabetic. Luckily, my youngest so far is okay. That and alone, if any of y'all are type 1 or even type 2 diabetics, but type 1 diabetics, man, your pancreas does not produce any insulin. It's expensive, man, to get, and it's expensive. I'll just say that. So trying to make it is sometimes it's just, I'm just your average Joe trying to make it, man, trying to make it. So, I got a new offer on Super Scope 6. Let's see what they offered. That's a cheap game. I can tell you that. Cheap, $650. Man, that's free shipping on that too, isn't it? It probably is. We'll hold off on that one for now. Actually, let me click on this. I think it's free shipping on that. Yeah, man, that's just terrible. I mean, I might as well just take it. $650, it's $679. Free shipping, I'll make like $1. Super Scope 6 is not the game. That's one of them games that squeaked in a long time ago that's been sitting for a long time. That I don't list that anymore. I don't list. I was talking about it earlier. The games last year when my store was up to 900 items, this is one of them, because I was listing stuff for $7.99. And so now I got caught up in a 15% discount. So it's $6.79 free shipping. I will never do that again, but there are still some items in my store that are old items like that. You know what? I think I'm just going to take it. I think I'm going to just take it. They offered $6.50, I think. Yeah. You couldn't just buy it now for 27 more cents. Come on, man. You know what? Whatever. I'm just going to take it, and I might make a 75 cents off that transaction. So there you go. You got an awesome deal, sir. Whoever sent me an offer for that Super Scope 6 SNES game. There you go. All right, let me go back to sales, and we'll cover these sales here. Man, that's terrible. I'll never do that again. Never, ever, ever, ever. Anything under $9.99 just is not worth it. Really, for anything, in my opinion. It's just not worth it. Even $9.99 is stretching. The only thing I really list at $9.99 free shipping is video games. Outside of that, if it's $9.99, if I bring it home and I comp it, whatever it is, if it's not a video game and it's $9.99 or less, it's going to the thrift store for $2 or $3 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like I just, yeah. All right, let's go to orders and pull these things so you guys can be on your way. So funny story about these. I had these up. I got 3 of them, right? Yeah. I've had these up for probably a year maybe now. And they were at $16.50 on a discount plus shipping. They're Apple wireless Apple keyboards. And they were at $16.50 plus shipping. They were on my discount, and they've been up on several discounts and several promos now because they've been on my store for like a year now. I think I picked them up for like, I don't know, $2 a piece or something like that, maybe $3 a piece. I literally, I don't know. I just so happened to come across them in my thing yesterday, and was like, man, these things have been sitting around forever. This shouldn't be sitting around. I don't know why I looked up Apple stuff in my store, but I looked up Apple stuff in my store, and I was like, they should be selling. So I comped them again. I was like, what are they selling for now? Am I just too far off on these things now? No, they're selling for like $29.99, $25.99, or $24.99 free shipping, or $24.99 $5 shipping. But they're selling about $30. And I'm like, well, $16.50 plus shipping is good. It's going to be around $30. Why haven't these things sold? So I went ahead and I changed the price, and I went was it $14.99? I think it was. The guy bought all three of them, $14.99, free plus shipping, and just reposted them, and boom, somebody bought them all. So the total ended up being with shipping $77.97. All three of them together is probably going to cost me like not even $10 to ship. So it's like $60 that's just been sitting in the store that finally sold after a year just because I tweaked the listing. That happens sometimes, man. That's the other thing with eBay. Sometimes it's a matter of just tweaking your title or tweaking your price, and then boom, it sells. It's weird, man. It's weird. eBay's so weird sometimes. Next thing that sold, so those sold for like what I say, $77 total, with shipping. So for all three of them, same guy bought all three of them. He just gobbled them up. I was like, okay, cool. What they just paid the $6.50. Okay, good. This sold. Namco Pac-Man sold for $14 plus shipping on that. PlayStation 4 1TB red. PS4 1TB red. Let me find this. I think it might be over here actually. Give me a second here. PS4. Nope. That's a white controller, so that's not it either. Let's see. PS4 white controller, PS4 500 gig red controller. Nope, we don't want that. We got the 1 gig. PS4 Pro. Nope, it's not the Pro. SNES. Nope. Oh, right here, I think. This one right here. Is it this one? I don't think it had two controllers. I don't think it's this one. Maybe it is. PS4 Blue. Nope. I guess it is this one. This is the only other one, unless it's that one, maybe. Let me check. Oh, it is with two controllers. Okay, cool. 1TB. All right, so it came with the show and Rayman Legend. Okay, so this is a PS4 1 gig with two controllers, headset, two controllers, 1 GB, like 5 games. I'm not going to pull them all out, but so for $150 plus shipping. I'm used to selling the 1 gig. It's been a while since I sold one, but up until January timeframe, I was selling 1 gig PS4s for $200 all day long. So they've come down quite a bit because they've been sitting around my store for a while. But now I'm starting to move some finally. Next 3 things that sold, and then we're out of here. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Funny thing about this too, just the way eBay works sometimes. Modern Warfare 3, $11 free shipping on that one. I had a bundle of like 5 Modern Warfare games in a bundle. That was one of them. This was another one because it was loose. Let me grab this one. It was World at War, and it was I don't know, 3 other ones. They were up. It got all the way down to $16 on a $16 on promo. It was like $19.99 for all 5 of them. Nobody touched them. I've had some success bundling games together like that, but in this case, nobody touched them. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to cancel it, and I'm going to list each one of them one by one because they're all selling for about $10 free shipping. So don't you know, like 3 of them, the one yesterday we sold was Modern Warfare 2, and that was one of them as well. So it's like they're selling individually. You know what? I'm just going to not put them together in a lot anymore because you would think somebody would gobble it up. $19 is a great deal for 5 of them, and then it was down to $16.50 for 5 of them. It was like, really? Nobody wanted it. Dead or Alive is the other one. So that sold Modern Warfare. The disc World at War sold for $9.99 free shipping, and then Dead or Alive sold for, I think it was $9.99 free shipping as well. Nothing crazy. I did have a return too. This is the dumbest return. I just gave the guys the money back, and I said keep it. A guy ordered Final Fantasy Royal Edition. Well, it was the disc only, so it worked, but he said he wanted to return it because it didn't have any of the downloadable content. And I'm like, I mean, no shit, it doesn't have the downloadable content. It's the disc by itself. Like, the downloadable content comes in the box, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, you gamers, once the downloadable content is used and the code is used once to the person that purchased it, that's it. That can't be exchanged. They can play the game, if you sell the game, but you can't transfer and re-download the downloadable content and get it a second time. Once that code's used once, it's done. So I don't know why this guy thought he's going to be able to, like, I guess Royal Edition, the Royal Edition part of Final Fantasy 15 is downloadable content. I don't know, man. So he wanted to return it because it didn't have the DLC stuff. And I'm like, you know what? It was $11. It ain't worth for me to pay for a label to send it back and refund you. I'm going to lose more money doing that. Just keep the game. I mean, I didn't tell him all that, but anyway, Dead or Alive 4 on Xbox sold for $10.19 plus $10.19 free shipping. So that's it. Nothing crazy. But I'm gonna get the stuff packed up and labeled so that way I don't get dinged. And that's all I got for you guys. But yeah, I just refunded the guy. I just was like, you know what? And I'm gonna eat $4 because it was $10 free shipping, and then I paid for the label because it was free shipping. So of course, when I do a refund, it refunds him the full $10.99 or $9.99, and I had to pay for the label, so I lose $4 on the label too. So I end up giving him his $10 back, but then I lose the $4 on the label. It's it's a racket, but luckily that stuff doesn't happen too often. But you just got to roll with the punches and just keep it moving. So that's all I got for you guys. I appreciate y'all once again for hanging out. Appreciate you guys commenting. Sorry this one went long, but we've had a lot of comments lately, and I want to touch on all those comments. So again, sorry for the long videos. I'll try to keep them shorter, man, but I'm a talker. So enjoy the rest of the day, everybody. Appreciate all y'all support. On our way to 500 and 500 subscribers. Subscribe if you haven't. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.